Hello and welcome to Power Hour. I'm Mercy, the Game Master at HereThereBeMonsters, and today we're here to do some work on our D&D campaign. That being said, you don't have to be working on D&D with us, but if you are a DM or a GM and you have some work you haven't done, now's a great time to do it. Otherwise, enjoy some chill music, some good vibes, and get done whatever it is you need to do with your day. Just going to refresh. Oh dear. One moment. All right, there we go. Sorry about that. Still kind of getting used to the new stream setup, especially as it relates to YouTube. Hey, Kian, good evening. Does a nap count as being productive? I mean, I think in the broader context, yes. Right? Some people might argue with me on that, but I mean, if what you need to produce is more rest, then yes. I'll take the counterculture answer there. Thanks for being here, Nun. Hit 25 today. 25 what? You know what? Actually, hold on. We're not doing this part first. We're doing session notes first. So let me go back to that screen for now. Oh, dude, happy birthday. That's awesome. So the first little bit here, we're just going to be chilling on the camera scene and chatting and working. I got ahead of myself because I'm excited to keep working on the map because the map has been really fun. But we have some things to do from session 7. No spoilers, don't worry. For one, we need to write a new intro for session 8. We were able to use the same one for session 6 and 7, but we need to write a new session 8 intro. But before we do that, I need to go in order. Did you do anything fun to celebrate for your birthday, Kian, or are you doing that on the weekend? Get my D&D folder open. And let's see. First thing to do is to clean up my session notes, which I would love to put off, but really I should do that. Session notes, on stream session 7. What did I not do? Because I did do the majority of the session notes the next day, like the next IRL day. Create and share. All right, first things first. Let's create a document for session number 8, which we have not had yet. But I tried to get in the habit of pre-rolling some like weather and some basic events for my sessions, and we didn't use all of that during session 7. So I can kick some of that forward into my session 8 notes. So session 8 will start in the evening of the 18th day of mid-spring. Not that that matters necessarily to anybody else right now, but FYI. Not just treating his normal day to get some Freeman cigars to celebrate, so not all bad. Okay. Well, yeah, happy birthday. Thank you so much for coming and spending some of it with us. And then that means I can take out those notes from the session 7 notes because they're not needed. And then, all right, there's 2 main things I think that I need to clean up from the session 7 notes. I need to get some more info written down for what we did at the very beginning of the session, the conversations that we had with the NPCs. I'll just be really vague at the beginning of the session because I didn't really note any of that because there was just too much back and forth for me to be able to do that at the time. And then I probably could fill out a little bit more of what happened in the first part of the 18th day of Mid-Spring, which is where we left off. Okay, so let's start with the easier one, right? Get that out of the way. So travel. I need to find out from... I think I'm going to delete part of these notes because Rubato messaged me in Discord about what he wanted to do with his downtime, and I think I had jumped the gun as far as what had actually happened. So that happened, which reminds me of a note that needs to go up here. That was quick and easy. Now I have to rack my brain and think back on the conversation that happened at the beginning of the session. Before I do that, though, speaking of conversations, 2 quick notes for you guys. 1, if you're chatting here or you're watching the video later and you want to be able to see the chat, make sure you turn it to live chat because it defaults to top chat. And on smaller channels, sometimes top chat just straight up, you don't see some messages. Which is useful in bigger channels, but not super useful here. That should be at the top left of your chat box. Number 2, if you haven't already done so, would super appreciate it if you would consider throwing a like on the video. That is very helpful for us. Realistically, I probably just need to rewatch the video to really truly fill out these notes, but I think I can do a lot of it off the top of my head. That can get deleted. Hello, Lily. How you doing? Let's see what else happened in there. We met that group of people. We talked to that person. Rubato noticed that thing. Okay, the party learned that. Sorry, I know I'm not talking quite as much here. I need to focus a little bit on what I'm writing for this part, but then I'll be a little more chatty after that. Unfortunately, blah, blah, blah. am I not paragraph indenting? Oof. That looks awful. Fix that. Okay. All right, there's that. What's your day been like so far, Lily? I feel like there's one other note that I need to make, which was... Okay, I think that's good enough for notes. That's enough that if I looked back on it, I would have all the major story beats. So that's done. An easy day. Went with one of your students to high school for visits. Oh, nice. Wait, so are you guys... When does your summer break start? If you haven't yet. Not until the 30th. Oh, wow. Okay. Is that normal for you guys, or is that later for some reason? Okay, so next thing then, where do I want to note this? Probably in the session 8 notes, actually. Always end of June, huh? I have to think really hard how much of an info dump I want this next thing to be. You go back to 2. Yeah, still. That's like a whole week more school than most places around here got. So this is secret info that one of the characters is getting. I'm not going to say anything about what or why. And it's a book, so it would presumably have quite a bit of info, but I also want to not be over detailed, right? We don't want to spoil the whole thing just in one go. So we want to think in world. The person writing the book would not have all the info. So what would that person or that being or what have you have written about this subject matter? I have to think chronologically about the timeline of the world as well, because that doesn't make sense. Ooh, okay. That's a good idea, but also way too much of an info dump. I want to get this done and the session intro in the next 16 minutes. It's going to be tough. Okay, let's look up the description. I know what to do. Trying to think of kind of like where to break the tie here, so to speak, as far as how to start this. Let's look at the spell description that's relevant. Oh, okay. This could be a fun way to limit the information given. The character can only read from the book for 10 minutes at a time. So how much can you read in 10 minutes? I mean, obviously that'll vary hugely. Looks about 245 words per minute on average. Okay. How many words are on... Let's see, what size is this? Not textbook size, but it's probably bigger than a novel. Probably like a hardback novel. How many words per page of a hardback novel? Looks like about 255. So, okay, that makes sense, right? I guess I'd never really thought about that. But it's sized to be approximately 1 page per minute on average. Huh. Well, okay, so it's not that long of a book. It's like a notebook kind of thing. So I suppose he could still probably read most of it in 1 or 2 attempts. Okay. Well, we learned a little bit. I didn't anticipate that. By means of the spell, you can decipher Otherwise, necessary did not. Once the spell is cast. Okay. So, we learned some things. They didn't really help me with what I was trying to do. Ooh, right. But he can read it, but he does not gain knowledge of it. Okay, that's spicy. So, the... Okay, so there's a little bit of a description about what he's reading and how it feels. Exactly, RR. So that kind of sets the tone. Now I need to actually write down some info. How you doing, RRRR? From what you can gather, it details I'm doing pretty good, thank you. Been a relatively productive day so far, and I'm feeling relatively good about what we've gotten done so far during the working stream here. I'm jonesing though. I want to get back to working on the map, but I can't prioritize that over things that like functionally affect the sessions. I also didn't say you were right, to be fair. Killing everyone is the DM's job. Well, yes and no, right? As the DM, it's pretty easy to do that if you really want to. It's more of putting the party in dangerous situations where there could be dire consequences and then letting them like navigate those situations. Dangerous situations, i.e. traveling with Rubato. Okay, I like this. I like this. I've had a pretty good idea here. Let's get like one more paragraph. Like I said, I don't want it to be too much of an info dump. Also making a note. The danged shadow people. What am I doing? 7 minutes? Woof. Okay, almost done with this though. First half there, second half there. So what is the second half? What do we find out? There may not be a way to default to live chat. No, I don't think there is. It's super annoying. Okay, I really like this. I really like this. It's not like we're voting on comments or anything. You don't even know what they're using to determine top. Oh, it's algorithmic. It can be somewhat useful in larger chats on YouTube, but not really in smaller channels. Although comment voting, could you imagine trying to do like Reddit updates in real time in chat? But even that, you would essentially have to break chat into two, right? Because you'd still have to have people that were seeing live chat in order to react to stuff. Okay. I need to find one piece of information and then we can move on from that to try and write an intro, which is definitely not going to get done in 3 minutes. So what we'll probably try and do is finish this in 3 minutes, come back, and we'll have 30 minutes to write the intro and do a little bit of work on the map. Is realistically what's likely to happen. So what I need to find, and this is where this is going to get really hard, and it's something I'm going to have to think about as we continue to grow the game and the world, is how exactly I'm note-taking and like where I am storing and how I am categorizing the notes that I am taking. This would be easier in person, honestly. Because I could lay it out and visualize it in a way that makes sense to me. Okay, I did find the info that I want though, which is good. And I found it relatively quickly. Oh, this is so good. Okay, I actually really love the the lore that we just came up with here. Can't wait for people to hear that. If it's shared, I guess for now it'll be secret character info. Yeah, I'm curious. We'll see. Okay, that's done. 30 seconds left. I really had fun with that. That was really neat. Save it, save it. Close that, close that, close that. Also, we learned a thing. I think this was before you got here. Or maybe not. But the character in question is using a spell to accomplish something. Part of that, at least, is the reading of some magical text. So I was trying to decide how much info to give them, because it's a book, so, you know, obviously there's a lot of words in a book, but at the same time, I don't want it to just be like a full lore dump, you know, in one go. Like, oh, you found this book, like, there you go, there's the whole thing. So I was trying to think about, like, various ways to limit that mechanically, and so then one of the things that hit me was like, oh, but read magic, you can only read a certain amount. The spell only lasts for a certain amount of time. So then we did some looking, and it was like, okay, like, how much does an average person read in a minute? Cool. How many words? And then how many words are on like the page of a novel? And it was just kind of a cool. So this is just like a real world thing, but to probably no one's surprise if you stop and think about it for a moment. But to my surprise, because I had never done so, those numbers are essentially the same. The average rate at which people read is about 255 words per minute, and the average number of words on the page of a novel is about 255 words. So obviously both of those things will have fluctuations, but like, oh, that makes sense. Like, pages are probably designed to be read, especially in like modern novels and things that are commercial, at a rate of roughly 1 per minute. So I just thought that was interesting. Thought that was coolio. The shadow people. A spellcaster reading something. I mean, you don't know. You might think you know, but there have been more than one spellcasters. Oh no. Okay, I'm not gonna get this done today, but I do still need to go back into session 6. I was just looking back at that before I close it and go on break here. For for the 14th day of Midspring, all I have written down so far is Jacob the Scribe worked through the day and much of the evening to finish Rubato's spell. Other characters did various things around town. Expand. Crap. Well, I'm not dealing with that today, but I will need to go back and do that at some point. All right, let's take a stretch break. We'll put 5 minutes up on the clock, and then we'll come back, probably spend about 10 minutes writing an intro for session 8, and then about 20 minutes working on designing a newer, larger version of the training grounds for the military camp in Capstone. So get up, off your booty, drink some water, stretch your legs, and if you haven't already done so, like the video. Huzzah! We're back. Players countdown. 30 on the clock. Right, and I need to update the other thing too. Current project. Right. Session 8. Intro. We probably could do that next week, but honestly, it should be a relatively easy thing to get done and checked off the list. Okay. There is that. Did I close my darn thing? I did. Where did I save? Oh, there it is. Okay, I was gonna say we did this once before. Where in the world did I save it? But I actually found it. So we want to make a new folder, I think, for session intros. Session intro scripts, probably. Move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. Okay. So this one can be called Session 6 and 7 intro. And then we'll make a copy. Rename Session 8 intro. All right, so the, like, what's the word that I want? The structure that we wrote for this last time was, here's tonight's hook, here's a little bit about the world, and here's what the players have been doing to impact the world. So I think for now, at least, because we haven't had any like super major events that have like on a global or like kingdom wide scale. So I think we can keep the paragraphs that we have for here's a little bit about the world and here's what the players have been doing to impact the world. Now we might add like one more sentence to that last one, but I think overall paragraphs 2 and 3 are fine. So what we want to rewrite mainly here is paragraph 1. But I also want to write this without being spoilery. That's going to be hard. So this part's not a spoiler, or at least not, it's a spoiler from like 3 sessions ago. So the party set out to find evidence of orcish military activity. The party struck out, that's a better verb, from Capstone to find evidence of orcish military activity on the far side of the mountain. Not only did they do blank, but they also did blank. This is coming across as a little bit corny. Not only did they do blank, they also did blank. This happened, the party decided to do this while searching. Filled with a All right, I think this is okay. I want to be able to read it out loud to myself, so I'll do that later, but I think that that's a good enough start. Then what do we want to add to paragraph 3? Alantine the Paladin arrived at Capstone with his childish friend Skabosh in tow. Far from how he envisioned his first official charter from the church, he's responsible for helping Skabosh pay off her debt to society through community service. He assembled a small team of misfits and set out on what he assumed would be unimportant work. Little did he know, he would find himself between 2 incoming invasions. Maybe I don't rewrite that yet. I was gonna just try and add like one sentence of something that's like newer, but Maybe we only change that like kind of after every major story beat. How are we doing? Also, that's 10 minutes, which is what I said I wanted to spend on that. So I think I'm going to call it for that. Hello, Kale. How you doing? Let's do some designing. Current project. Just chilling after work. Very nice. How's work? And then now we can switch. Oh, right. Wrong mouse. Oh, dear. Lol. So I need to add a couple more hotkeys that I'm missing on my Stream Deck for the YouTube streams. It was interesting. Okay. I'm curious what precisely that means. Few bad customers, but got handled, and you're able to kind of brush that stuff up. That's good. We are doing designs. I feel like that's still not centered. Yeah. There we go. That's better. So, what are we doing? Well, we ended up last time redesigning like this whole camp area, the military camp area for the town of Capstone. We made all the roads wider and generally spread everything out a little bit more. And what that ended up doing for us / to us is it made the training area much bigger. So we had already designed a tile for what was the previous layout of this. Here. And I really, really like that design, but we have more space to work with now. So I think what we want to do mainly is just copy this and then expand it out and make it larger. Oh God. There we go. Oh, I'm not in build mode. That's why. I was like, what is that tool even? I don't even like recognize that. Also, another manager said he might be leaving, not just quitting and disappearing like the other one. Oh. The giant heart circle. I don't know what that means. All right, so I guess we need to get that does the emote things. Oh, I can't see it. So I guess for now I need to like count this off. So this is a 3. It would be a 3x3 square, but it's missing one corner. And then it has a 1 block border all the way around, resulting in a diagonal. Let's see if we can recreate that. Is it not an element that you can remove, I'm assuming? If you weren't planning on leaving come August, you might have been tempted to try and go for a manager position. I bet you could have done it for sure. So these are already onesies. So this needs to go out wider. 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 And these also. Wider. Wider. So then I guess that actually would go there. We need 2. No, this is... Yeah, no, this is good. 3x3 with... Yeah, okay. We're all good. We're all good. Although this, literally everything here needs to come out one. Okay, hold on. I'm getting ahead of myself. One thing at a time. One, two, three, four. Might decide to stay and work weekends, but you don't know if it would be enough for them to let you be a manager. What did I do wrong here? What in the... Okay, hold on. Just gonna go ahead and undo all of that. Hey, Vincent, how are you? Planning for the June session. So June session was actually... So we might have 2 in June. But it's good to see you again. I know. So what happened is... I'll give you the 30-second rundown. But we had a ton of commitments. We had our big streaming event at the beginning of May. And then after that, one of the things that we did was we raised money to build a new computer and completely redo our streaming setup. And that ended up being way more work than anticipated. So the session from, I don't remember, late, like mid-May or whatever, session 6 never got uploaded. I feel really bad about that. But it is going to get uploaded this week. Then session 7 was actually last weekend for the live stream. Session 8 is probably going to be on the 24th. So not this upcoming weekend, but the weekend after that. So the goal is, in order to get caught back up, session 6 goes up this week, probably Friday. Session 7 goes up next week. My goal is Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. Then session 9 will live air that following weekend, like I said, the 24th. So we're kind of doing 2 different things. But first of all, I just want to say I'm super glad you're here. I was thinking about you the other day, actually, so it's a pleasure to see you again. 2 different things. We spent the first half of this working stream working on the session notes from session 7 and writing a new intro script for session 8. And writing some secret information for one of the players. We're finishing up this session here with doing some... We decided... I guess it's been a little while since you've been here. We decided to start mapping the whole town of Capstone. You also haven't worked there for long, but you don't know. Yeah, you might as well ask about it, Kale. I mean, it doesn't cost you anything to ask. So Rocket, kind of my plan there is to plan everything out ahead of time, but to still stream the actual time in town and just set ourselves kind of a time limit, like no more than an hour. So that way we can get out on the next adventure. So go ahead and message me what you're thinking so I can like prep for it. But we're not going to do it off camera, if that makes sense. You don't think you've been getting any notifications for the actual live stream sessions unless that's Patreon only. So the live sessions are on Twitch. Live sessions are on Twitch every, 3 to 5 weeks. And then they get uploaded to... Well, okay, no. Sorry, I'm thinking myself in circles. These live sessions we do every Wednesday, like what we're doing right now. About 1 hour, 60 to 75 minutes every Wednesday afternoon, starting around 2 p.m. Pacific time. 2 to 2:15. The actual full sessions, like where we play for a couple of hours, those are live on Twitch. And those happen, like I said, about every 3 to 5 weeks. So every week on YouTube, we do about an hour to an hour and a half here. And then once or twice a month on Twitch, we do the full live stream sessions. Then about a week after the live stream session, those sessions get uploaded to YouTube. Hopefully that was a better way of laying out that information. So this is kind of funny. I don't think we actually made this space very much bigger than it already was. It was already a 3x3 with 1 square missing. So maybe we don't have as much to redo here as we thought we did. What happened? Okay. I see what's happened. So the basic shape is still correct. What we need to do is come over here. No, not rural. Let's see what was this actually under? Nature. There we go. Do you have a ballpark for how much you may or may not get for... well, if you can send that to me also. No, I don't, is the short answer. But we can figure that out. I don't think there's really a way for us to fix that, right? Because what I would do is I would add a little bit more dirt. But the main thing that changed is we added a whole nother row out. Oh God, not that size. A whole nother row out here. So after I finished stumbling over my words there, Vincent, did that explanation make sense? Hopefully. That's the real size change. So we can kind of decide whether or not we want to do this little thing. Like, does this gain us anything? What would I put here? Like, we could move the sign and the signpost thing up. And then there would be 2 paths in that aren't so close, that wouldn't force you to walk in front of the firing range, I suppose. I guess that's what we gain. Okay. Although I guess I would want to change, right? Because we're doing an outside corner now instead of an inside corner. So fences, we'd want this piece. Okay, that's not bad. Then that way, yeah, then people could walk in here and not be, like I said, walking right in front of the firing range. Okay, I do think that that's a benefit. And then all the rest of this just gets 1 square bigger. We'll have to figure out what to do with that space, ideally in the next 5 minutes. No. stop that. So, Rocket, you ready for this? Yesterday, Orange and I played like 4 games. We lost 3 and won 1. And the game coordinator went down, and the one that we won didn't get recorded. It doesn't even show up in my match history. No sign of it whatsoever. Yeah, my favorite one of the ones that we lost was we had a teammate last pick an offlane Medusa on a team that already had a Spectre. Instead of trying to move these. You shouldn't get abandoned for no reason and ruse the game. Well, and like I did that one time, right? But yes, I hear you. Why? What the? Oh dear. I messed up the placement of all of those. They're all hanging off the edge. Okay, fine. I have to do that again. I didn't realize this was not placed correctly. That's part of the problem. There. Part of what led to the problem. Oh, but now we're floating. Why? Is it floating in the original? No, it's not. Something went wrong when I pasted it. Yeah, it's weird. It's like when I set it down, it's not going quite where I'm setting it. I've never really noticed that problem before. If you drink a potion that is a spell, do you have to concentrate? I don't know that I understand the question. Short version, I don't actually know. I would do some Google foo on that. All right, we're not going to finish this, right? Because our time is pretty much already up. But we can at least get it all resized. And we will have gotten done dang near everything that I wanted to do today. I'm the most excited about the secret info that I wrote out. Not gonna lie. I think it's a good way to intro some stuff and to pique some curiosity without oversharing. And just answering everything. Scooch those back in a little bit. There we go. Close enough. We'll tweak it in a second. It's not like they'd be perfect in real life anyway. I think that's pretty good. So now the question is, and I'm not going to stop and design it right now. The question is, what happens with this extra space that we've added? At least as an idea. Also, I kind of feel like maybe the well should be over here now. Because like what else would be going on in that space, right? Out of the way of everything. It kind of risks. I don't know. I think it's okay. And really, it could go a little further back there. Water right by the entrance. No, because then that means that people have to walk in front of the archers again. Never mind. We were trying to avoid that, right? People could walk in there. So probably just corner is going to be good. Oh, do we not have? There we go. So that can go there. And then there was this extra thing that we found that we hadn't found before. But this little armor stand is pretty neat. That can go there. Probably closer to the table. Maybe in the middle. Yeah, maybe more in the middle. And then you've got your well. All right, so a few things to consider are going to be, do we want this outer area to be grassy, right? That implies that it's not being like walked on or used as much, or do we want to expand the dirt area out? And then either way, I guess just kind of like what is going to go out here. If we did dummies, there could be like one more whole batch of dummies. But does that... Does that look like too much? I feel like it does. 2 almost looks like too little. Though, now that I look at it, I'm really not sure how I feel about that. Obviously out here, we just throw one more little archery thing, if we're going to put anything out there. I do kind of like it though. The extra space just makes it look a bit more robust. So overall, I'm glad for the change. We'll finish that up during the next working stream. We're already at 75 minutes, which is what I try and kind of cap myself at as for my like upper end of this. But we got our session notes caught up. We wrote some secret info. We wrote a new session intro. And we at least got most of the enlarging of the training area done. Not bad for one day. So we're going to call it there. Thank you all so much for being here. Super appreciate it. Rocket, if you want to play any games or anything, I'm pretty much done with my to-do list for the day. But certainly no pressure. Yay, productivity. We did things. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you. Hope you have a good rest of your day. You are doing D&D Googling. That's fine. I need to do the dishes anyway. So I'll go do dishes and then I'll check in with you after that. Thank you all so much for hanging out. Like I said, session 6 will be up here on the YouTube channel by this Friday. So that's 2 days from now. Thank you all, and as always, take care and be excellent to each other.